So my experience with Prime was kind of interesting. So as I left off, I was talking about how that I got into a fight with my CL instructor, and so I drove back with Prime had me arranged to ride back with two other drivers. One had it was a team of drivers who was going out, and they both had ran out of hours. I don't know how it happened, but they ran out of hours, and they were trying to get back to Prime's headquarters in Springfield, Missouri. So everything just kind of landed. I landed at the right place at the right time, and so they put me behind the wheels. It was a Peterbilt, and I drove all the way back to Springfield, majority of the way back. And then when I almost got there, one of the drivers had drive time available. And then I went back to Prime. I sat there on the driver's pad for about 2 weeks, and finally I got my license. And it was in the rain. I failed the first time on the drive. The first two times you got three tries to pass. I failed the first two times. The third time I prayed real hard and said, Father, you gotta let me pass this test because I don't have a job. I need this passed real bad, right? So I took the test and passed the test, and it was in the rain when I passed the test. Then I went and did the over-the-road test, the road test. I failed the first time, and I failed because the instructor said I pulled out of a car. I should have waited for the car, and I pulled out, so he failed me, took me back to driver's pad. Then the next time I went back, I went out with another trainer, and I drove, and he passed me. And then he said, what happened? What did you do? He said, because I don't see a problem with you driving. I didn't have a problem driving after all the experiences that I had. I mean, going through my boot camp and driving on US 30, going from Ohio to Chicago with all those stoplights. In traffic during the rush hour. So I got a lot of training there, so I could shift. I finally got my shifting down pat. So then I got my license, and then I had to go out with a driver's trainer, and so I went out for cross country from East Coast to West Coast, and some kind of way I kept getting connected with New York drivers. The second person was from North Jersey, which is New York, technically, but it's New Jersey. But the same kind of arrogance. But this was a younger guy. He was younger than me, and my CDL instructor was older than me. This guy was younger than me. We went from New Jersey to California back and forth, and I got I think it was like 50,000 miles over the road before they allow you to get your own truck. So something happened where he had to go home, and I sat out for 30 days or so, and then finally they set me up. They said, well, you got your license, we got to get you out so you can finish your miles. And they sent me out with another driver who wasn't a people person, and him and I got into a disagreement. And I remember going through South Dakota in a blizzard. And I had gotten so comfortable driving a tractor trailer that I was now passing trucks that had been dropped for years. That was an experience. But driving through, and I ended up getting snowed out, and somebody blew snow on my windshield, and I couldn't see, and I ended up in a ditch. And so that driver told me, he was a little pissed off at me, and told me that he wanted me to get off his truck. And so I did.